Now, as we enter the last part of the race to Aso Rock and the final curtain prepares to fall, lots of lingering concerns, not least the constraints of naira and fuel shortages, insecurity, a state of tension, and incredible political saber rattling. Many people are quite frankly nervous, and there have been renewed calls for the peace accord signed by the candidates and their parties to go beyond intent and actually keep the peace. So, at this crucial time, in a country that can seem deeply divided, can the ruling APC party truly defend Nigeria's democracy, bolster the mood of the people, and reassure them that this country's center of gravity will not shift or be set adrift as the final curtain falls? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by Senator Sani Musa, Chairman of the Committee on Senate Services and a senior member of the ruling APC party. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Charles.
I know this is a busy period because you've been campaigning and you've just come in from your state, Niger State. So we're glad you made out the time to be able to share your thoughts with us tonight.
Thank you.
So of course the APC, your party, ending their rallies in Lagos yesterday, Tuesday, huge attendance, lots of colour and apparent enthusiasm. How do you think that went down in Lagos and beyond, apart from the obvious inconvenience for Lagosians of blocking many roads and making movement virtually impossible in an already sort of crowded city?
Charles, thank you very much for this invitation, and I believe this is a very good opportunity for me to give you the right answers. Yesterday was actually the end of our presidential campaigns, and the grand rally held in Lagos. You can see how it was crowded. Despite the difficulties Nigerians are facing, but you can see how Nigerians from every part of the country decided to join Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos to be able to present himself again to Nigerians that he is the man for the job. And not only in Lagos, in many states' capitals, this rally was held. In Minna, Niger State capital, it was the grand rally. If you have seen any of the pictures, if you have seen the crowd, despite the fact that there are difficulties in terms of getting funds, but Nigerians were very, very keen to come in to hear what we have for them. And it's overwhelming.
Right. Well, talking about funds, some have suggested that money was being distributed yesterday during that APC mega rally in Lagos. I mean, can you react to that allegation? And there's video evidence that's been presented to support that. The video is on air right now. We've got it, you can see it there, the woman wearing an APC t-shirt and giving out sort of money in a bus that was going to, apparently, the mega rally.
How much has been shared?
Well, I don't know.
How much do the banks give out? If you ask this question, then I have a question for the Central Bank of Nigeria. Because it has been said, no money should be withdrawn, not more than 20,000.
No, but that's old currency that's being given out there. And a lot of APC governors...
I wouldn't want to believe that it's an old currency.
Well, it is. You can see it.
I wouldn't want to believe that it's an old currency because the CBN have refused to accept, to tell Nigerians to continue the use of old currency. So when you tell me it's an old currency, I will argue with you. Yeah, but because Central Bank of Nigeria have said nobody should accept old currency.
Yeah, but your APC governors have, some of them have said that they're going to continue to use, in fact, they've said to people in their states, keep using old currency.
We are at a period, a delicate period of campaigns, and any mischief can come with any kind of definition. So when you're telling me that, APC, this is just one scenario, what about the billions that we have had, Okoa have taken to distribute?
Well,
what about that?
I don't have any evidence of that.
That's why you've read it in the newspapers.
No, that's why we presented video.
But you read it in newspapers. Don't you read it?
Yeah, but shouldn't you
Haven't you
be
read
addressing
it?
the allegations
No.
against?
If that is true,
Right.
if this is an allegation, I would have expected you to have gone very deep in your research to find in where did all these newspapers or online got their evidences that there's money with ECOWAS.
Well,
ECOWAS PA
I promise you, we
and
dealt
spoke.
with that issue when it was top of the news.
So that issue should have been coming together with where a woman is sharing an envelope. How am I sure it's money she's sharing? How am I sure?
Anyway,
tell me.
Anyway, let's move away from that, okay?
Yeah.
Will the APC conduct itself in a sportsman-like manner in this election, especially in places like Lagos? Because there are concerns that the APC, and not just the APC, some of the other parties as well, are desperate to win and are spoiling for a fight to the finish.
From the campaigns we have seen and the activities going on, I do not want to believe that a party like APC, which is my party, have presented itself in a desperate mode. You can see who are desperate. You can see who are displaying immaturity in campaigns.
And who are those?
PDP, of course. What are you talking about? It's everywhere. I mean, we want to see issues being discussed. I had your interview with Otero Peterside, who I so much respect. He has said it, and there's one point he made. He said he's a Democrat. Even if the person he's supporting lost the election, he will accept the result. So let me tell you today, APC is not in a desperate mode. APC believes that with what we have done in terms of infrastructural development in this country, which of course it has been overshadowed by little things that the opponents are bringing up to the table. But I can tell you, would Nigerians still have confidence in this party, especially in my own locality? In Niger State, I can tell you that we are going to present APC, if not 100%. 100%. I can tell you that.
Well, let's go beyond Niger State and let's give you the chance to put your pitch forward on behalf of the APC. What would you say is the APC's strong point? What is the winning card that Bola Ahmed Tinubu can play, invoking the APC name with both President Buhari's record and that of Mr. Tinubu in Lagos, which have both been challenged?
You can't challenge the achievements Lagos have seen over the years since after Tinubu assumed office. After Tinubu assumed office, if you've been to Lagos before then, before assumption of office, you will agree with me that Lagos is very hostile. It's a hostile city. It's like a slum. But today, if you go to Lagos, you must give him that credit because of the rolling plan he had. He didn't just have a plan for 4 years, first term or second term. He had a long-term plan. He rolled a plan for over 25 years, and that plan has been working. If you go to Lagos today, I'm telling you today, it looks different from any other city in Nigeria. Why is it that? It's the foresight. It's the vision he had. If you look at Lagos before now, the kind of environment you see, everywhere is dump sites.
I have to agree with you.
If
because,
you go to Lagos today,
I do remember, I mean, I don't know whether the change in Lagos is attributable to him by himself, but I can certainly agree with you that I do remember Lagos quite some time ago, coming to Lagos, and every time I go to Lagos this time, I am pleasantly surprised with how they've been able to manage such what appeared to be a very unwieldy city.
You know, Charles, I'm a realist, and I say it the way it is. When you go to Lagos, because of the planned evolution he has made over time, if you look at the predictive validity of all that he has been doing, you will see that yes, it was a plan that will transform that city, which he has done. And that is what is making us to believe that if Tinubu has has the votes of Nigerians now, he will be able to transform this country to what it should be. Nigeria has tremendous opportunities. We have both the capital and human resources to transform this country to what it should be.
Yeah, but unfortunately, sorry, go on.
Unfortunately, we have remained with the kind of what you call status quo. Some of those Nigerians that have wanted to remain the way Nigeria should be have refused to agree, even with physical infrastructures that we are seeing in those places that we said this person have done well. I will give you another example. Peter Obi spent how many years as a governor in Anambra State? He did his first time and second time. 8 years. 8 years. What his successor did, Peter Obi never did it. I've been to Anambra State. I've seen the roads his successor was able to put. I've seen the airport. And this plant was, all these achievements were the plans of his successor.
Yeah, but you can certainly...
I would have expected Anambra to have a rolling plan, a development plan over years.
Well, you can make the same argument about Lagos. What has happened in Lagos is what you call governmental continuity. Continuity. I mean, you have one governor, they do so much, another one. That's the way government should operate.
Government is a continuum.
Yeah. That's the way it should be. So you can't go back and say that Peter Obi didn't build an airport.
No, he didn't.
Because someone else did. He didn't. And he kind of moves on.
No, he didn't. If the plan was there, I don't see how his successor will have claimed to have made the plans.
Right.
But let me clear something.
Sure, of course.
When Fashola came, and Fashola is still alive, ask him, he will tell you that it's a continuum of what we have met on ground. They have a development plan that cannot be altered, and they have to go with it. The only thing they do is where they need to add, they add. But they have a plan. And Nigeria, if you remember, from 1975, we used to have a rolling plan after every budget, because the kind of budgetary system we have is defective. It can't give you what you want unless you have that leader with a vision, has the perspective of saying, look, let me tap the opportunities I have on ground.
So is that an admission that your leader, the APC leader, who's been president of Nigeria, doesn't have a vision?
When I spoke, I said from 1975 that used to be a plan.
But what
before Buhari becomes the president, we have Obasanjo, we have Eradua, and we have Jonathan. They spend most of the years under this democratic setup. So when you're talking about development, I want to believe that when you have the concept and ideas and you put them down as the chief executive, over time, when they start to mature, you'll see the kind of change we're talking about. But I give you an example.
Yeah, there was nothing
President Buhari has came up with the plan, especially like the area of gas now, the AKK project, whereby they're trying to transport gas to other places. The multiplier effect of this thing will help Nigeria in the future. How will it help Nigeria? The deforestation we are having, especially down around the Sahara, will reduce, because there will be ample opportunity for all this gas to even be used domestically. And set aside, you are comparing with other presidential aspirants. And I will give you one of the presidential aspirants. We have a presidential aspirant that was chairing a privatization committee. Tell me one of those entities that have been privatized that have been able to stand on its own to do what those BPE guidelines that said, look, if you want to take this, this is what it should be, this is what it should be. Tell me, Alaja Steel Rolling Mill is dead. How much did he sold Alaja Rolling Mill? Katsina Rolling Mill is dead. Countless.
Yeah, but what did your government do to revive those industries? That's one thing. The other thing is the fact that you talk about, you're telling us about the developing gas, which has not come to fruition yet.
Yep.
The oil that has been developed, which all you had to do was maintain security and ensure that that oil, the windfall that this country has been getting from it, continues. You haven't been able to do that. In the meantime, you're fighting a civil war in the APC right now, aren't you? Half your governors are fighting the presidency that is controlled by your own APC party. How can you, in those circumstances, present a united winning front to the Nigerian electorate?
Who declared the civil war? Is there a civil war in APC or in Nigeria? I don't understand.
Well, there is a civil war in the APC.
When you mean civil
the governors are fighting the president.
Charles, what is the definition of war?
No. We're not going for literal.
No,
I don't want to waste time. Otherwise, your time will disappear.
I'm not being literal. When you say civil war, tell me there are some reasons.
We're not going to waste time
on
definitions. You understand what I mean.
Why don't
you're fighting each other right now.
Let me redefine it for you.
And therefore, you're not presenting a united front.
Let me redefine it for you. Why don't you ask me to say, why is it that your party is divided about the cash swap?
Well, the
if
point
you ask me that, I will give you a good
you're fighting
answer.
each other right now.
Okay, I will answer you.
Go ahead.
I'm a member of the Banking, Insurance and Financial Institution Committee in the Senate. This is completely not what was presented to us about change of currency. And even when you're talking about change of currency, we have seen in other claims, other economies, how they did it in other countries. Even the advanced countries, we have seen how they did it.
But the Nigerian situation is unique.
Nigerian situation cannot be unique than any other.
No, it is unique because politicians in this country are perceived as corrupt. And therefore, part of the plan was to change the currency in order to prevent them from using money. That's the perception.
Has that checked the corruption?
No. Well, I don't know.
What are the
indices? You tell me.
What are the indices
saw a
of
video.
finding corruption?
Sorry?
How did you get the indices that Nigerian politicians have the tendency?
No. I'm saying, you see, you have to listen to my words. I said there is the perception that Nigerian politicians... I did say that.
All right,
that they are corrupt. And it is based on that we have seen the people who have the evidence, including the president and all the other people who are part of his presidency, saying that they're going to do this in order to check that corruption.
The perception is wrong.
So you're saying the president got the perception wrong?
He got the perception wrong.
Right, okay.
The plan, when you are changing your currency, is a very good thing for any country. Especially, you are supposed to change these currencies between 5 to 7 years. It's a very good... I'm an economist by training. It's a good thing to do. But the implementation has a lacuna.
Okay, let's leave that because we've only got 3 minutes left, and I need to get to certain things. I wanted to be able to
but let me make a point. Let me make a point.
Otherwise, you'll lose the chance to talk about your re-election.
When I mean lacuna, politicians in this country constitute less than 5% of the population. And today, from the top, either middle or lower class of Nigerians are suffering from the poor implementation of this policy. And the view outside is that it's done because of one single presidential candidate.
Right.
And the sympathy that presidential candidate is having today is overwhelming. So, have anybody that thought that will checkmate anything been able to check it? All we need in this country is free, fair, transparent, general
Well, we don't know if he's enjoying goodwill. We will know on Saturday who wins the election. But let's turn to your bid for re-election to the Senate. Tell us why the people of Niger East should vote for you again. How qualitative has your representation been?
You see, the late Sardauna of Sokoto said, if you don't blow your own trumpet, nobody blows it for you. But for my case, people are blowing my own trumpet. Because since the
now's your chance to blow your trumpet
yes,
yourself.
Now I have the opportunity to do it.
But briefly,
since the inception of this democracy, there is no single elected senator from my state or from the North Central states, even the Senate President, Saraki, has not done in terms of projects that I have done in my constituency. In my senatorial district, if I have not done projects, I have done 467 different kind of projects. And I'm very proud to say it. And the bills are presented
but how
in
do
the
you
National
fund
Assembly.
those projects?
How do I fund them?
Yeah.
From my constituency projects. From
Right.
the capital allocations.
Because, I mean, you donated 100 campaign vehicles to the APC in your state.
That is entirely from my private
what I'm
business.
saying, you also donated a building to be used as a campaign office. And people have, that would have cost...
That's a building
that would have cost...
That is a building that I've constructed over 20 years
Yeah, but
back.
that would have cost, all of that would have cost hundreds of millions of naira. And people have to ask, where's that money coming from?
That money, when you go out and ask, what are my businesses? I have been a businessman all my life. I've been here before. You have asked me this question, if you remember, when I was looking for national chairmanship. And I've told you. In fact, you pushed me to tell you my words. I'm a businessman. Go and check. Do your profiling.
Okay.
And that gives you the question, the answer. But I choose to go for an elective office so that I'll be able to
give something back.
Give something back.
Well, I hope that that mental disposition that you have remains positive and remains the way that it is. Sure. Senator Sani Musa, I want to thank you very much indeed. You put up a very robust defense for your party, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it. And Senator Musa is, of course, the chairman of the Committee on Senate Services and is a senior member of the ruling APC party. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles.